Hi, I am Kim with Abundant Life Tarot, and I am doing a video today on the Mildred Payne Secret Pocket Oracle. And I did do a review, but I did do a video before, like several weeks ago when I first got it. I think it was even an unboxing, and I accidentally deleted it. But that's good, because sometimes unboxings, they're great for what they are. You get that first impression of the reader's, surprise or dismay at the deck, and so that's exciting. However, sometimes what's lacking in that experience is the experience of actually working with the deck. And I've had a chance to work with this lovely little deck, and I've had a chance to edge it in black, so I don't have an image anymore of what it looked like in its unedged glory, but that's okay. I'm sure you can see lots of videos out there with it with its white borders or what have you, or not borders, edges. So anyways, it is little. And it, as you all may be aware, there is actually a puzzle that is formed by the backs of the deck, which is cool. I will be honest with you, I have not completed the puzzle, and there's probably a good chance that I won't. I just don't have the energy or the time to complete a puzzle. If my kids want to take a stab at it and try for it, that's fine. I just love the backs. I love that each of them are different. And I love that they do actually make something unique to the deck, but I don't need to complete the puzzle to even connect to this deck. Again, it comes with a beautiful little story about Mildred Payne, and here's like the little guide page book. It came with some larger, like tarot-sized photos of Mildred Payne, and another little card that belongs to Deviant Moon, which is the creator of this cute little oracle, with a little Lenormand feel to it. But here's the guide, and I like the guide because it's on one page that's easily foldable, and it's with the idea that Mildred probably had some crude meanings on her little paper bag here, and she stuffed it in her pocket when she was in the insane asylum. And I love little stories like that. I mean, I love American Horror Story. I've been watching horror films since I was 4 years old, and I know I wasn't probably supposed to watch horror films at that age, but I think everything is in its divine purpose, and there was a divine purpose for me watching movies that were very scary and violent at such a young age. But I digress. I love a good backstory to something, and why not an oracle or tarot deck, right? So this little deck, let me tell you, it has become one of my favorite decks to work with. I've never used Lenormand or anything of the like, so I don't really have any point of reference to that, but to me it does read like what I would imagine a Lenormand would read, and it also reads like a great oracle that it is. So here's some of the images here. Here's the Ankh, and then it has a corresponding number at the top that goes with the guide with the meaning. So for example, I'll just go ahead and get this unfolded. So you do that here. 52 is the last meaning, the last card. The Ankh stands for secret knowledge, life, increased awareness, exalted power. And that's this beautiful little card. And I'll tell you in a moment how I use this particular deck in my readings. I do sometimes use the oracle on its own and just do a standalone reading with this deck, but I find it works better as part of a grand scheme kind of tarot / oracle reading. If you're doing like, whether it's oracle or tarot, that it like really complements the reading really well and really helps to drive home the themes of that particular reading for that particular querent. So here is Umbrella. I think it'd be kind of fun that I read some of the meanings, not all of them, for, you know, time's sake. 46, protection from something beyond control, sanctuary, maybe a bad omen. And before we move on with the cards, let me show you the box. Here's the little box. So cool. One of the images. So yeah, so cool. Okay, I'm just gonna kind of go in order here. Here's ladder. Orbiculum, my favorite card. And let's read that one, number 43. Let's see. Sudden insights, prophetic glimpses into the future, searching for answers. 23, flower. And you can just probably imagine the intuitive hits that you can get from this particular deck, even without looking at the meanings. But here's Skull. Let's read Skull. That's number 13. Death, thoughts of feelings of mortality, change, end of a cycle. And we have Ladder, Ear, Moth. Let's see, Moth is 29. Transformation, being hopelessly attracted to something, a clingy person. All right, Candle. Stick. Girl. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I had to turn on the light a little bit, have a little mood lighting as the sun is setting, and I didn't want it to get too dark before the video is actually over. And then what actually interrupted the video was some sort of update on my phone that interrupted the video, which is fine because then I was able to turn on a little bit of light. So let's continue. Before we continue with viewing the remainder of some of the cards and maybe doing like an impromptu reading with it, I wanted to show you some of the other goodies that comes with it. We have this cute little bag that basically what I do is I store the deck inside the box, inside the bag, and then I just kind of do like this. Something like that. And I keep it all together like so. So that's what I do. Oh, and then it came with the little cover card. And like I said, it did come with a larger tarot size, picture size of this Mildred Payne and another card, but that's upstairs in my altar area. So I'm not going to go up there and get it. Just trust that it's a larger replica of the creepy Mildred Payne. And also you can read some of her backstory on the Deviant Moon website. And I will leave some contact information for the Deviant Moon website so you can get your own Mildred Payne Secret Pocket Oracle. So let's keep going. So we have, hopefully I'm not repeating some of these other cards here. looks like if I am, but let's try to fish. I know these I've done. I think. I don't even know. I don't think I did wall. I like this one. And wall is number 27. Obstacles, separation, protection, maintaining boundaries. House. Okay. Spider. Number 1 is fetus. Snake. Pentagram. Hag. Octopus. Blood. Tooth. Water. Storm. Time. Broom. Hand. Mirror. Let's see if I can just hide. Factory. Tree. Let's see. Oh. Sun. Fire. Crow. And so I think that's it. So a couple of cool things about the little guide is it does come with a little bit of history here about Mildred Payne. A cute little story there. And then there's some reading suggestions and spread suggestions. Of course, there's a past, present, and future. There's a 2-card spirit reading, and then there's a Mildred's 1-card reading. So it does come with at least some spread, so that's cool. And then I think what I'll do is I will switch the camera angle so that you can see me shuffling with it, because let me tell you, let me go over some specs with you about this deck. The cardstock I love. It's it's not really glossy. It's more semi-matte. It's, to me, great cardstock. It was easier to shuffle when I didn't edge it in black, I noticed. Like some of my other decks that I went crazy edging in black, or yeah, edging with black Sharpie, end up being kind of stiff, like as if it was like gilded or something, gold or whatever, and so it was a little more difficult to shuffle. I could actually riffle shuffle this before I edged it in black, but it's okay. I just do hand over hand with the shuffling for the most part right now until it gets soft again. But like I said, I really like to use this particular deck. Oh, here's coin. I wanted to show, in case I forgot to show this earlier to you, this is coin. So I like using this deck because I can have a 9-card spread, or I could have a 3-card spread, or a couple of cards that jump out in a reading that kind of help say, okay, this is the overall energy or theme of this particular reading for tonight or for today. And I find that it just kind of touches upon all the different angles in a reading. When I use tarot or other oracle decks, it plays really nicely and really well with pretty much all of my tarot decks and a lot of my oracle decks. Not all of my oracle decks, but a lot of them. And right now I'm loving the combination of using it with my beginning in an oracle reading, and then also maybe another oracle deck, my Dear Heart oracle deck, I always use in readings for others, and now starting readings for myself. But I use that or this, or the Mildred Payne, it's the beginning. Then I use my Stretch Tarot as the meat and potatoes, or my Triple Goddess Tarot, or whatever deck I'm using at the time. That's what I use. So then I, at times, can go back and forth with using it with my steampunk, but it looks really good next to the steampunk. Let me show you. Well, maybe that's not a good example. But when it's like, I promise you, it does look a lot better when you're laying it out in a spread. Like when I show you, say, now we have, it just, to me, it's like, I don't know, it's moody together. And it sets a nice mood for the particular reading I'm doing, whether it's a love reading, a life reading, a job reading, whatever kind of reading. I really enjoy using it. So, enough of going on about it. I love, oh, it's fuzzy. Sorry, guys. I love this particular deck. I'm so glad I got it. It was fast shipping. It ships from, the U.S. So, I got it maybe 3 or 4 days after I ordered it, and I adore it. It is such a great addition to my collection. I toyed with the idea of ordering a second backup copy because it's so little, but I haven't lost the card yet. I'm very careful when I'm playing with it, when I'm traveling with it. I really like to just make sure I have a clear space to play with it so I can make sure that I account for every single little card, because it is a tiny little deck. So I, again, highly recommend it. I think it does not disappoint. Sorry that it keeps getting fuzzy. I think because it's getting dark. Let's kind of turn it up here because it's like probably trying to find somebody. Okay. Anyways, let's get started with digging into looking at the cards. Guys, okay, so let's get started looking at the Mildred Payne. Let's shuffle. And so here's just a good look at the size here. And let's see, what can we ask? All right, Spirit, what do we need to confront in the upcoming week? All right, 3 cards jumped. How can we confront what we need to confront? What tools can we rely on? Spirit, what tools to help us confront? What tools? Okay. Oh, see how slippery they are? I don't mind that they're that slippery, but they are slippery little suckers. Okay, so I just need one more card for this row. Oh, thank you, Spirit. Huh. Let's see, can you guys see that? Sorry for the moving around. All right. And can we receive some cards on the outcome of once we confront what we need to confront? What will be the outcome? Please give us 3 cards, Spirit. And we thank you for your loving guidance. Okay. Oh. Sorry, folks. My camera kind of overheated, and then my husband woke up from his long nap and was talking to me and interrupted me. And then something funny happened as I shuffled, and the next card that jumped, more on that in a moment when I'm finished shuffling. So just getting back into this space of giving us one more card about the outcome of what happens when we confront what we need to confront. Well, we won't. I'm not called to include that card. Let's just stick you all over here and kind of take in the reading. Okay, so you may notice that there's 2 ladder cards. And here's the little backstory about the ladder cards. So this little piece of paper came with my deck, and it says, our gremlins were at it again. Please find the enclosed number 32 ladder replacement card with correct mystery drawing on back. So apparently, the number 32 card has a different mystery back that's not correct for the whole puzzle. But what I decided to do, because I always do this with extra cards, is I keep the card in there just for an extra divinatory meaning, or just for more emphasis on that meaning. So that is why I kept the extra 32 card in there. So that's that. So the first line up here is what the question was, what do we need to confront this week? And we have the Devil card that came up. We had Blood. And we have Factory. And this is a reading that is for universal. It's not specific to one person or one group of people, but some people it could resonate. The whole message can resonate with others, parts of the message, and while others no. So just bear that in mind with the reading. The next thing that we will be confronting, or along with the Devil card, is the Blood card. And then the Factory card. And I'm just going to take a look at the meanings, and then we kind of move from there. So we have number 6, and in the Oracle meaning, it says, the thing that we're going to be confronting this week is evil, nasty habits, deceit, and abuse. Number 8, blood, life, vitality, sacrifice, heritage, ancestry. That's cool. And then number 34, factory, hard work, industriousness, bringing ideas into reality. Okay, so we can say at the start of the week, some of us will be facing, yes, outright evil, confronting the evil that seems to be pervasive outside of us, but not realizing that we have to confront the evil pockets inside of us and take a look at where it stems from in our ancestry and confront old legacies, old negative thought patterns that pervade in our current life today that were passed down generation by generation by our blood. And so we have to deal with those evils and confront those inner demons that we have to face. Because let's be honest here. Let's be frank. The situation with Vegas and other terrorist attacks is what we see on the television screen is an outpicturing of what it is that is coming from inside of each of us. We don't want to admit it, but there's some part of us that is either complicit in the ills of the world and don't do anything or say anything about it and try to ignore it. And we've been doing that from generation to generation to generation. This week we are called to confront that, to deal with what is it that is presenting itself over and over again, that appears evil, that appears negative, and how can we really deal with it? I'm always a person that believes it comes from within as far as change goes, and then it moves outward. So it's time to maybe meditate on that, and instead of pointing outwards on this, pointing the devil and other people, you start to look at where am I devilish in my own life, and where did that stem from in my history and my family history? Where is it coming from, and how can I set the path for a new legacy for my bloodline? And then finally we have the factory, hard work, industrious, bringing ideas into reality. So what we're confronting this week is the notion that we have to deal with these ills of the world, that it has to be hard work. But we are industrious people, right? Of the world. It doesn't have to be laborious. It doesn't have to be so hard to confront the evil and the devil from within in order to work on the devil outside, right? But we make it so hard because there's a disconnect between ourselves and others. We have now bought into the facade of the illusion of separateness, that we are separate from one another, that we are separate from God. But the truth be told is that we are all one. And when one person is suffering, even if they are inflicting pain on others, we all suffer until we root it out. But we've got to stop looking at it as a laborious thing that, we have to confront that notion. Just having simple conversations, open, honest conversations with one another, journaling about it, talking about it, thinking about it, meditating on it, and then releasing it and letting it go. So I think my next question was, how do we confront it? And we have the door. We're going to walk through that door of that new way of thinking. Let's look at number 33, shall we? Opportunity, entering new situations in life, choices. So it's a choice, folks. All the ills of what's going on in our society is really honestly by choice. And it sucks that we can't come to that realization, right? But here we are. But we have an opportunity at this point to turn things around for our humanity's sake, right? It says entering new situations in life, a door. So maybe some doors are closing to the old legacies of racism and violence against people and women and children and animals and the planet, and a legacy of being a victim and the legacy of being a master or a murderer. We have to let go of some of these old ties. But in order to do that, we have to go through the door of new opportunities and new ways of being and new ways of thinking, and being open and honest with one another about everything at this point. What do we have to lose? What do we have to lose at this point? We've already have lost a lot, and we're, in terms of what is going on right now, right? Now let's open the door to a new opportunity and see what's behind that door. Make a new friend who is a different, walk of life from you. Social media allows for us to be able to do that, worldwide even. It's time for us to really start engaging in some new ways of being and taking this as an opportunity to affect change in our lives and in our children's lives and in the rest of our our successors' lives. Number 10, omniscience. I cannot pronounce that. Omniscience. I'm sorry, guys. It's getting late. Knowledge, vigilance, honesty, bearing witness. Like I said before, having honest conversations, being honest with yourself, bearing witness to what is going on. And when people protest, to not use that as an opportunity to try to shut them up, but to use it as an opportunity to hear them. Hear why they're protesting. You may not agree ultimately with why they're protesting. You may be enlightened by something. And even just from human to human, hearing one another, having that honest conversation with one another, and then ultimately being honest with ourselves. Where in our life do we have some opportunity to allow forgiveness to come in and work some magic? Or maybe some old negative pattern thinking about a group of people or about some situations that happen to us or others that we've seen. Now is the time to rely on some new knowledge, gain some new knowledge, be open to that new knowledge, be vigilant in wanting to receive that new knowledge, to want to this new earth, this new way of being, bearing witness to others' pain, bearing witness to other people's joy, being the cause of joy for others. And then finally, house 28. Having a sense of personal identity, family, stability, a safe place. So, how we are able to confront what we need to confront next week is by having a sense of personal identity, knowing exactly who we are. We are beings of love. This evil that we are seeing that's outpictured is coming from all of us collectively, and we've been allowing it for so long that is a condition of ours, a disease. But we know that with dis-ease can come ease. We know that our natural identity is love, is peace, is joy, is success, is beauty. There is no imperfections. Everything of that nature is an illusion. A house is a stability, it's a foundation to build upon. And then they also say family. Who is your family? Are they supportive? Are you supportive of them? Are you building a new family, a new world family? Are you loving and being loved by your family? Your family in this coming times will be everything. They'll be your joy. You'll share sorrows with them. You'll share triumphs. But understand that in order to be able to really confront what we need to next week, we have to rely on family and on stability. and creating a safe haven, a safe place for ourselves when the going gets rough and when we're dealing with devilish things. When I come home, I feel like I am safe. And then finally, the outcome of once we do the work, right? Oh, sorry, that's my daughter, Ella. She is playing and talking with her dad right now. And so we had 2 ladder cards. So the ladder cards, let's take a look for a moment. Shh. High achievements, overcoming obstacles, stepping up in life. So we have high achievements coming up twice. So here's the thing. This is telling us that don't be afraid. Go on, climb, do the ascent up. Yeah, it can be arduous sometimes, but you're going to achieve success. High achievements, overcoming those obstacles that we face, stepping up in life, improving this place for our humanity to be able to grow and to get stronger again, no matter who comes into leadership. And then finally, we have the Broom Card, which is number 39 on the back. It says, getting a situation in order, domestic duties, an erotic encounter. Yikes. Getting a situation in order is what resonates for me in this reading. We can get our situation in order, our belief systems in order, our way of how we are looking at the other side in order, how we look at even adversaries in our workplace, in our bodies when we're dealing with disease and when we're dealing with, extra weight or poundage. Whatever the case may be, whatever those devilish things are that may be in your inner world, and whatever the major big devilish things that we're seeing on our TVs, on the news, understand that by doing the work, walking through that new door of opportunity of looking at things in a different way, bearing witness to people's pain, and really trying to be a human brother or sister to someone that may not be from your walk of life. And then finally, creating a safe place for yourself and for the people who cannot create the safe place for themselves. That's important. And then finally, we will achieve that success. We will get where we're trying to go. We will get our situation in order. This is a great reading. This is powerful, folks. And I'm not just speaking to Americans or whomever. I'm speaking to anyone that this reading may resonate, because the devilish things could be something as big as mass shootings and killings to as small as, you are struggling to keep your job, but your boss is on your ass. What devilish things are you dealing with? What addictions are you dealing with? What big scale things are going on around you? What small things? And get the clues about it from the legacy of your history. Anyway, folks, that's it. This is the lovely Mildred Payne Secret Pocket Oracle. And I just adore this little deck. I suggest that you check out the website, Deviant Moon, and maybe consider getting your own deck. Please share your thoughts with me on the deck. How do you use it? What do you really think about it? And thanks so much for watching. Take care. Namaste.